세러데이 쇼다운 KT 롤스터 대 DRX.
Allow you to side lane a lot more aggressively.
Jax.
And there is the Jax from Zeus. That is kind of a double up because it's both one of Doran's best picks, particularly when Doran has been on form. I think as Jax has been where he's showed some of his best team fighting. But we know that this is a skill matchup, right? This is not something that Jax wins by default. And I think it's very snowbally as well. I do think if you get the Jax head early, it's really good. But otherwise, we've seen the Yorick be able to get such a consistent early game that the Jax never really gets the skill. And I also think that games right now feel like they're decided a little bit earlier. But then you look at the fact that there is a Kalista, a Leona, and a Xin Zhao. And then I think that you're feeling pretty good about your early game if you are Hanwha Life.
As Hanwha Life come with a very aggressive draft here in this first game. Let's hop into the Rift for game one.
Some issues creep in, but that inconsistency. Zeka, as he often does, just playing.
I mean, he might get the kill here. Very, very close. Faker not respecting it. He's going to sidestep and flash away.
He's going to be feeling really good as in they go.
Right, going in on Naguma, who is going to take a bunch of damage. I don't know if they actually have kill pressure here, but still a good engage from the side of the Hanwha Life Esports bottom lane. And staying ahead a little bit on the gold. About 150, but
Faker says no.
Yeah. Good luck. Go over there, stop that. As now we got the engage. Countdown coming on up. Owner is here. Viper in a lot of trouble. Down he goes. First blood. Goes over to Guma. And now the bullet time as well. As, well, Keria dies to the turret. So actually it is traded back. But the kill goes to Delight. And a wave is missed by Viper. Still a good play for T1.
Top play, I assume. Owner just running and the...
Including Keria. Bit of damage here on Zeus, who is Jax, but yeah, stun comes in, 1Q, and he's dead. Owner just easy dive, and now you've got a whole turret worth of plates given over to Doran. T1 getting massive leads here in this early game.
Cole's cashed out for Guma to really add to that gold lead. All right, Doran trying to play for this turret, might be fighting him.
All right, he's going towards the other enemies. He's buying a lot of time. The turret goes down. Owner tries to come in and save him, but Doran gets knocked up, and there you go. First kill, but now Nico, the massive ult over the top. And Guma's right there, but the damage doesn't go in. As now we got the engage coming in on Guma. He has to cleanse, he flashes, but he's not getting out of this one. Hanwha Life making something of this team fight. As Faker on the backside, Keria here alone as well. Triple kill for Viper, who has been totally untouched in this fight, picks up 3. Talking about champs that love to stick around for long fights and get multiple counter-strikes off. Jax is one of them.
Keria.
He is in a lot of trouble. No ult available. He's just dead. Root comes down, and now the follow-up, the recommittal here from T1, trying to save their buddy. And now Hanwha Life are going to get another flash away from this one. Guma is probably dead here. He doesn't have flash as the bullet time. It doesn't hit, but it doesn't matter. Zeka just takes the 1v1 Hanwha. Now wiping the floor with them. They're going to take down a Rift Herald.
Faker loses his flash. Guma and Keria end up going down.
The insta-cancel on that bullet time.
Look, thus far, T1 haven't really been able to find as Hullbreaker done 2 item spikes are there for T1. And this Drake fight is a possible soul. We haven't even talked about the mountain as the TP comes in from Zeka as well.
All right, they really want to fight for this one, but the Drake is already gone. And okay, it's gone.
That was anticlimactic. Says, take it and drive mid, maybe.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, he heard me.
You're on to something.
Well, there are like 5 T1
that.
players, so maybe just leave. Yeah, he's just leaving. That's better. Unless
he's rotating.
Yeah. Whoop.
Back to bot lane for you.
Back to the wave.
I think we're not having a lot of action now. We wanted to show something, but that's really the situation.
Flash.
Doran, yeah, I think he just doesn't do it now. There's just way too much rotation over here. 4 people kind of angling down there, so it's a good point made. And I just...
Oh, did they just get it?
I don't know. I mean, they're starting it, but they're apprehensive about it. Owner is here.
Flanking Yorick.
We've seen this work for other teams. Not sure about in this scenario as the Maiden is bye-bye. It's another 50 gold over to Zeus.
Zeka doesn't have an ultimate yet. I think he's going to be looking for Carriaz if he can find it.
Doran's just pushing.
Or Fakers.
Wants to go for the
Delight!
engage as Faker just going to go golden, and now Delight maybe in a bit of an issue as everybody gets knocked up by the Nico, but the counter Nico comes in. They get onto that back line as Carrier the first to go down. Guma's already out of the fight, as will go down Owner, and it's just a disaster. T1, they set it up, and Homalife knock it down as they do not get the soul, but they get a massive team fight, and now they're going to get the top objectives.
Tried his best in the early game, 100% kill participation, but at this point, you are Pantheon.
All right, they're going to try for something here, but Carrier doesn't find the angle, and Fate's call comes through. It's kind of a broken engage from T1, and there's still 30 seconds of Baron. So they have this wave. They take down the turret anyway, and that's some tools taken away from the T1 side.
There's an issue.
Everything we said on the box stage is coming true.
Yep.
If Homalife lock in, if Peanut's on his game, they should take it. Peanut is running into 4 people, and the ult here from Carrier only hits the Xinjiao, who does not care. Peanut doesn't care, even if he dies, as now they get to the back line, and Kuma's ult does absolutely nothing, just dies immediately. Baker's got a good angle under the turret, but he doesn't have any teammates, as they're diving the turret. They're just tanking the turret, and everybody seems to have his on as everybody's going golden, and Baker just doesn't do any damage. He is dead. Homalife stomp the fight, and maybe they take the game right here.
That's a red side win as well. It's Homalife. Yes, they fell behind, but those team fights, man, they are just something else. The early skirmishes, we saw the signs, and Hanwha will be able to end this game. Carrier's trying to clear the wave as best as he can, but nah, there's just no chance.
Not having enough pull. They turn and take the kill first, and then they will kill the enemy Nexus. Homalife, very nicely played game. They got down 4,000 gold in the laning phase, and it still didn't matter because they were just the better team fighting team with a better team fighting comp.
Remotely close. Like, look at the moment, about like 15, 16 minutes in. In hindsight, that's where the grasp of T1 on the game ended.
Yeah.
And Hanwha started running the Rift.
Yeah, it was that one team fighting bot where, you know, they collapsed on a door and he tried to escape and T1 tried to... Talent. Kindred.
Well, I think Kindred
Zed?
Zed. You gotta do something like that.
Master E?
Okay, we're not gonna...
Briar?
Okay, we're Carrier's just trolling,
Kindred,
guys.
okay.
Kindred, that makes sense. Kindred. Poppy just feels like a smash hit. It makes Galio's play pattern a lot harder for him to reliably get. It is good into Alistar, and then it also just, Kindred as a champion is just invalidated kind of by it, because you can knock her out of her ult and knock other people out of the ult. You have the ability to not let her Q, which is a pretty big deal, and you have great point and click CC. So locking her down, slamming her into a wall, gives you a lot of opportunities. Now the obvious issue for Homalife is that these are 2 separate compositions.
Let's see what actually happens as we are ready at the top of the Rift for game number 2.
The Galio, I do think it's a lot easier to have that impact as we have the level 1 terror of Alistar. In a matchup...
The charm, he has to flash. Would have died if he didn't flash. And already, Zeka is winning this lane once again.
Zeka. So Zeka...
like almost a hard freeze. So it's going to force a TP out of Zeus, who...
I think it's Ornn. I think he's okay.
I think he's okay. Okay, he's going to flash.
Yeah, so he tried to predict it, because obviously with the W you can prevent it, and then he was just like, yeah, no, I don't need to flash. Which was correct. He does.
It's a lot of crystals.
A lot of crystals. No flash on Faker!
Okay, nice Justice Punch. Not much that Delight can do. And that...
Delight doesn't have Hack Slash either. I think they're trying again.
I mean, with Ignite and Flash, like, if Delight hits him into a wall, then yeah, he's dead. Speaking of which, Faker walks up, and the exact thing that I just said comes to life.
It was right in front of you, and you literally give him the angle.
He's just not respecting the Poppy.
나이스, 잘 봤다잉. 역시 완중이.
Good roam.
잘하네.
That's Delight. You're pretty good.
Did we
even though Zeka didn't show a lot of emotion, it's fine. Peanut is going to be in a lot of trouble here, as He does not have flash anymore. Trying to give this kill over to Doran maybe, but one more Winds of War and he does go down. Okay, trying to go untargetable once again as in goes Faker, and finally they take him down. Owner picks up the mark.
HLE will be very happy to play to late with this composition.
First, I think with his ult.
It's pretty close. Zeka can also use the first instance of his ult. I think they're going to arrive around the same time. If HLE played a little slow.
Well, there's the equalizer. It's a good one, but the Poppy ult is even better as they go all in onto one target. Down goes Owner, and the smite goes the way of Peanut, and now this is really rough times for the side of T1 as in goes Peanut, but there's no damage follow-up, and Zeka still on the chase. He's going to hit the charm again, as there you go. Another kill goes over to Zeka, and already the snowball is beginning for HLE Esports. And it's just ignored until the very end when it was amazing into T1's comp. They're like, huh, what's the oh yeah, Poppy. Huh, she deserves more respect.
Okay, T1, Doran TPing in, level 11, does have the equalizer, level 2. Poke is good here.
Yeah, I mean, they're zoning them away.
Nice.
Doesn't really look like Kalmar is set up for contesting this very well.
So, yeah, that's fine.
Well, I wouldn't stand on it, but
trying.
maybe standards in the US not quite as
Well, you can
not quite as high.
It's fine.
Carrier looking for an angle here on a Zeka. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
You have the Herald.
He's getting some good positioning.
Zeka and the Light playing very respectful here, going to take down the Rift. Carrier, if they can get in on someone, Peanut, that's in the theory though.
Yeah, it's not a real target. Now the TP's behind them. Zeus, he is an Orin. I don't really think they can kill him, but a double knockup comes in. He flashes out of the Galio. They're still showing a lot of respect to HLE. Not going full on in. If that were B&K, they're diving into that jungle.
Oh, they're just giving it up.
Yeah, they're just going to give up the Drake.
I don't think any other team, when it comes to playing out games from positions like this, is quite as slow and steady.
Yeah,
oh my God, he's going in.
The charm is going to miss, but it doesn't matter. He's so tanky. He's Ari. Look at his door. He's just dead. Chronicler.
It's done. It's done. Oh.
Okay, he's just unlocking Hex Flash. He doesn't have Hex Flash. He is going to knock away.
It's not done. We're so back.
The ultimate down. But guess what, guys? There's no objective outside of the Otacon. Now they're going to engage, though, onto Peanut.
Yeah!
He's dead. P1 looking for the objective. Zeka still here. And they just want to set up position here on this Dragon, of course. HLE Esports looking for that Infernal Soul.
Viper just wants to queue people.
He's trying his best.
Oh my God. Well, Guma can heal it at least, but more of that poke hits, they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah, Zeus not really able to make his way in. Equalizer now going to do a little bit of damage. More of a zoning equalizer than anything else.
A little bit.
Yeah, Zeus did walk back over it. Faker in a rough spot, but he will be okay. In goes Zeka, though. Gonna get the charm here on an Owner. Nice amount of poke from them. Even the Smolder helping out of that, and now they just turn on Naguma and Doran, who are left out to dry by the team as everybody else was running away. And that's going to be that early pick. Charm not going to hit fear from Zeka, but you know what is really going to hit hard?
I swear,
Chronicler.
if HLE somehow lose this,
You're a changed man today. I don't know what to say.
I will believe.
That's crazy. We're getting a little engaged here. Owner very, very low. And the ult in from Peanut as Doran's so low. Get a nice ult away. As Zeus, though, is pretty deep. Delight as well, getting chunked out. But the damage from Zeka and Viper is just so gigantic. And even Zeus is still here. Gonna get the Naga, but it's a little bit too deep. Look at the health bars of T1. That's all Viper and Zeka just chunking them down. The Infernal Soul's not making it easier.
Owner? Fourth mark? I can't help it still Drew, though.
All right, he's got smite. Okay,
he's got this.
Fourth mark.
It's fine.
Question is, does he die?
That's work.
No, he's fine, he's fine.
It's fine.
They didn't go in on that. Guma's alone, and the flank. Who's flanking who? What is this?
Is that Pool Bay?
I guess so. Except it's Faker, actually. He's might just die to Peanut alone, who is ulting in onto Galio. And yeah, he's just kind of playing with his food at this point. Guma left out to dry. And it's just HLE, they're just waiting, baiting them into these rough spots. And T1 trying to find an angle, but they just cannot.
Well, might do that here.
Well, Charm's going to miss, but Carrier's not in the fight anymore. Still going to try to get in there. He doesn't have
Owner, you got to get this.
Yeah, Equalizer comes down. Owner knocked away. And now they can just smite it down. Easy peasy. There it goes as, yeah. That's a Baron now over to the side of HLE Esports. They get it for free.
Look at the poke.
The damage already coming in onto this Elder. TP is going to be pretty straight up. Who goes down onto Doran. Zeka's got an angle, but he's spotted. And it's getting lower and lower. Bomb will be called, and in goes Zeka. Gonna hit the charm on that back line, and Doran's almost already dead. As Owner throws in the ult, we got the Galio over the top. Delight might be in some trouble, but Owner's already dead. As the jungler goes down for T1, and they don't have a fight afterwards. In goes the Nefiri. Peanut just hunting them down like the Nefiri you would expect. And it was over a long time ago, but Hama Life gonna put the nail in that coffin and take down this Elder Drake. Has that upgraded locket. I think that was the item we were looking at that had like 700 health.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's way too much. And Faker going for the desperation flank. He'll be able to live, it looks like, but again, living at this point, not feeling too great. Maybe he was like trying to get the wave or something, because they don't have Baron, right? So it's pretty desperate either way. And the flank, or not the flank, the push, the siege is still happening here. And the Ornhorn will be called just to force it underneath the turret. They're gonna find Owner as the turn comes in, and he's not gonna die because of his ult, but now he's gonna die. Just a little bit after the fact. Hamalave Esports will be taking down this inhibitor turret and the inhibitor, and we'll be looking for the 2-0 here tonight in relatively simple fashion. Delight gonna find another angle reminiscent of that level 4 gank that he got in mid lane onto Faker, which really started the snowball in this game. They don't quite have a wave, but they've got some little wolves to help out here, and it's just a done deal at this point. Got 10 seconds on Keria, who won't be able to clear out the wave, so there you have it. 34 minutes, and Huma Life will take down T1 in 2-0 fashion. Not much to see here in the series, to be honest. We thought it was going to be closer. We thought it was going to be epic, but instead Hanwha are just proving that they are the better team. They go on to end T1 in pretty straightforward fashion. And it was actually Viper that did a tiny bit more damage than Zeka, but that's saying a lot because he was playing Smolder. And the fact that Zeka had that much damage, yeah, he's the POM, guys. I haven't seen the votes, but he's the POM.
Well, that's what we thought we knew earlier today.
Yeah, that was my boy Daystar, okay? He 100%
He can
deserved
get
it.
away with anything.
Yeah. 1 death in 2 games, and he dominated on Silas, he dominated on Ari.
1 death playing Silas and Ari.
It's a classic Zeka.
This really
angle.
is.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Jason for the POM interview translation, joined by Zeka on the side of Honda Life Esports after their 2-0 victory up against T1. Congratulations! Thank you very much. With this victory, Honda Life secured 2nd place of the LCK round 1 and 2. What does it mean to you? Yeah, we had to secure the 2nd place, and we thought it would be a very hard challenge for us because we were going up against T1, and I'm very grateful that all of us together made it happen. And today, with this win, you guys ended your losing streak as well. What kind of feedbacks did you guys have after losing to Genji and plus Kia? Recently, we had a lot of mistakes in game, and our communications were a little off as well, so we wanted to make sure that we can work on those issues during scrims. Well, game number 1, you had a very tough laning phase matchup, but you managed to turn everything around in the laning phase and team fights. How did you manage to pull it off? It was for sure a very hard and tough matchup for me. So I think our main plan was playing around the side lanes and then setting up team fights around objectives. There was a team fight where you were able to hijack the enemy's ult and then set up for the entire team fight by yourself. Do you think Silas is a good pick right now in the current patch? Well, Silas didn't really get any direct buff in this patch, but with the changes in the AP items, I think this is pretty strong. Do you think you are the best Silas player? I think so. The confidence coming out from Zeka was displayed in the play as well. And then game 2, you guys were on the red side. And then this time around, you guys were leaning towards a late game value comp. What was the direction going to game number 2? So game number 1, we didn't really have a lot of picks that had laning priority. So I had Ari on the mid lane. And then it was a decent status for me, honestly, but the play and roam play coming out from Delight was so on point, and then I was able to have such a good time after that. So how did you play out Galio-Ari matchup? Well, Ari, of course, has the priority, basically, but I think thanks to Delight, ganking mid lane, I was able to gain so much lead. Is there anything you would like to say to Delight? Because he was the one that set up for that first blood with the gank on the mid lane. He made a promise earlier today, actually. I actually made a promise. Okay, so I said, I'm feeling pretty good. And then he was like, then I'm just gonna gank mid for you. And then he actually did it for me. I'm very glad. And I saw on YouTube that you binge eat on match day after match. So what's on the menu tonight? Or what did you have earlier? Nothing, because on that day when I said so, I ate too much and then I got food poisoning, and then the side effects were so bad, so I'm never doing that again. Then what about the meal after the match? Going for the hot pot, Haidilao, of course. That's on my list. Now you guys are the second place team in the LCK round 1 and 2, and one last match to play. What is your mindset? There's only one match left, and that's gonna be the final kind of checkup before heading on to the Road to MSI tournament. So I hope we can keep the best form and momentum. And this will be the end of the interview with Zeka, and back to the space. Thank you.